You might not believe it, but one of the biggest silent thieves of eyesight after 60 doesn't cause pain at all until it's too late. Ever looked at a straight line and seen it bend? Or felt like there's a shadow sitting right in the center of your vision? According to the World Health Organization, macular degeneration is now one of the leading causes of blindness in older adults. The scariest part? Many mistake its early signs for tired eyes. If this hits home, like this video and subscribe right now.
I'm Dr. Richard Bennett, a physician with over 30 years dedicated to helping older adults protect their vision. I've seen hundreds of patients walk into my office scared, worried about losing their independence because of macular degeneration. I know how heartbreaking it is not to be able to read a book or recognize a loved one's face. That's why I want you to stay with me until the very end of this video. Your vision deserves that care. Imagine waking up on a calm morning, opening the newspaper, and realizing the letters seem to dance, as if a thin fog had slipped between you and the world. At first, it feels like nothing more than tired eyes or outdated glasses. But slowly, that fog refuses to fade. Your central vision begins to fail, and simple tasks, reading a recipe, sewing, or even following subtitles on TV, turn into frustrating challenges. This is the quiet reality of macular degeneration. The fear doesn't come suddenly, it grows in silence. First, it's that insecurity while driving at night. Headlights blur, and the contrast between road and sidewalk disappears. A cruel doubt creeps in. Can I cross this street safely without tripping? Then comes the heartache of leaving hobbies behind. Quilting, piecing puzzles together, admiring the vivid colors of flowers all become exhausting, sometimes impossible. It's not just sharpness that fades, but also a sense of freedom. Along with vision loss comes the emotional weight. Many seniors describe it as living inside a poorly painted picture. The center is smudged, and only the edges hold any clarity. It's like staring at your grandchild's face, only to see a shadow covering the very part where your eyes crave connection. Missing a smile, failing to recognize an expression, that pain is deeper than words. It's a pain of the soul. At 60, 70, or 80, this threat can feel inevitable. After all, how many times have we heard doctors or friends shrug and say, "It's just age, nothing to do about it"? But those words land like a sentence. The truth is, macular degeneration steals more than vision. It steals connection. It disrupts independence. Shopping alone, cooking a meal, crossing a street without needing an arm to hold. The fear isn't only about blindness, it's about the dependency that comes with it. It's here that many seniors feel defeated. Will I need someone to guide me by the arm just across the street? Will I one day no longer see my family's faces? Those questions echo like alarms in the mind. It's not only sight being taken, it's identity, independence, belonging. And yet, even under this shadow, there's something rarely spoken about. The body still has resources waiting to be activated. It's like a garden that looks dry, but with water at the right time, life begins to sprout again. Even after 60, there are ways to support macular health, to protect your eyes, and to preserve clarity where it matters most. Modern science has shown that small, overlooked habits can slow progression and bring comfort back to daily life. But to get there, it's crucial to recognize the signs early, not confuse them with tired eyes, and above all, not surrender your independence too soon. And here's the good news. There are natural, accessible, and proven ways to defend your vision. You don't have to accept the idea of gradually losing sight. Yes, macular degeneration is a real threat, but what almost nobody tells you is this. Your body still knows how to repair, nourish, and strengthen itself when given the right care.
Pay close attention now, because this is serious. Weak vision is not the only danger. The greatest risk for people over 60 lies in falls because they steal away your independence. Did you know that 96% of seniors over 60 have already suffered serious falls? And these falls are not just simple accidents. They often lead to fractures, and worse, they take away your independence, your freedom, and your confidence to walk safely. But there is a simple solution. With just 10 seconds a day, the neurobalance therapy protocol reactivates balance muscles forgotten by time, giving you back your stability and control over your life. Don't wait for the next fall. Regain your confidence today. Click the first link in the comments or point your camera at the QR code and start right now. I guarantee you, this protocol will transform your life.
The straight line that bends. It may sound trivial, but has it ever happened that you looked at a tiled floor, a window frame, or a fence and noticed that lines you knew were straight suddenly appeared wavy? This is one of the most deceptive early warnings of macular degeneration. Many people dismiss it, thinking it's just eye fatigue or a problem with their glasses. In reality, this distortion can be the very first signal that the macula, the central part of the retina responsible for sharp vision, is starting to suffer small lesions. Think of the macula as the center of a camera lens. It's what captures the most important details, the sharpest points of the image. When healthy, the world is crisp. Letters, faces, and shapes appear perfectly clear. But when the macula begins to wear down, it's as if cracks form in the glass of the lens. What was straight now bends. What was solid now warps. The brain tries to correct the flaw, but it can't fully compensate. Scientifically, this change is called metamorphopsia. A 2021 study published by the American Academy of Ophthalmology found that patients in the early stages of macular degeneration often reported visual distortions, even when their overall vision still seemed relatively good. That means this symptom shows up early, and it's highly significant. What's surprising is that there's a simple test called the Amsler Grid, and it can be done right at home. It looks like a sheet of graph paper. People with healthy maculas see the grid as perfectly straight. But those with early macular damage notice wavy, crooked, or even missing sections. Despite being so easy, most seniors have never even heard of it. That lack of awareness delays the moment they finally seek help. To illustrate, let me share the story of Mr. Alfred, a 73-year-old retiree and gardening enthusiast. One afternoon, while arranging pots in his yard, he realized the edge of the table looked curved, almost like it was caving in. At first, he laughed it off. But the next morning, while reading the newspaper, he noticed the columns of text were oddly bent. Concern turned into worry. At his daughter's insistence, he went to the eye doctor and discovered the early stages of macular degeneration. Because the diagnosis came early, he was able to start monitoring, make small lifestyle changes, and, most importantly, protect the independence he treasures. His story highlights something critical. Noticing distortion in straight lines is not a meaningless detail. It's the body's warning. Ignoring it can come at a high cost, but paying attention could preserve years of healthy vision. So, if you've ever noticed that lines seem bent or that words on a page appear to shift, don't dismiss it. It's not just aging or simple fatigue. It's a concrete clue, a chance to detect macular degeneration early. And the earlier you act, the greater your chances of protecting the clarity that brings life into focus. This isn't a miracle cure, but it is a real, practical way to safeguard independence by paying attention to subtle signals most people ignore.
Dark spots in the center of vision. Imagine opening a book, staring at the page, and noticing that right in the center there's a dark blotch smudging the words. You move your eyes, but the shadow follows. It refuses to go away. This is one of the most distressing symptoms of macular degeneration, the appearance of blind spots right in the heart of your vision. Unlike peripheral vision, which may remain clear, the very center, where you need detail most, becomes a missing piece. This symptom creeps in silently.
At first, people mistake it for tired eyes, glare from the TV, or just too much time staring at screens. But slowly, that blotch grows, like a drop of ink spreading through water. In the beginning, it interferes only with reading. Later, it complicates sewing, cooking, recognizing expressions, and even crossing the street. The sensation is like living with a constant dark spot that refuses to fade, no matter how bright the room is. Scientifically, here's what's happening. The macula, at the center of the retina, is made up of light-sensitive cells called cones. These cones capture the finest details of images. When they're damaged, as happens with macular degeneration, the brain stops receiving central information. The result is what doctors call central scotoma, that persistent black spot in your vision. A 2019 study published in the British Journal of Ophthalmology confirmed that patients reporting central dark spots already showed structural signs of macular disease, even at early stages. In other words, this isn't a minor complaint. It's a red flag. Take the story of Mrs. Selena, 68, a seamstress with over 40 years of experience. Known for her meticulous embroidery, she prided herself on threading needles with ease. But one day, she realized the needle's opening simply vanished when she looked straight at it. If she shifted her gaze slightly, it reappeared. At first, she brushed it off as fatigue. But when her granddaughter's face appeared blurred by a shadow in the middle, she panicked. A doctor confirmed the early stages of macular degeneration. The blessing? She caught it in time, stabilized its progress, and adapted her routine, preserving a crucial part of her vision. Her story proves something vital. When dark spots appear in the center of your vision, it's not just old age or something that stronger glasses will fix. It's your body warning you. Unfortunately, too many people waste precious time waiting, hoping it will pass. But every week lost can mean the difference between maintaining independence and losing it. Recognizing this symptom early doesn't guarantee perfect eyesight, but it does open the door to protecting what matters most: the ability to see your loved ones' faces, to read a note, to cook your favorite meal. When that shadow appears, your eyes are speaking. Ignoring it may cost the clarity that gives life meaning. Acknowledging it, however, is an act of courage and self-care. Struggling with colors and contrasts. Have you ever noticed the world around you losing its spark? Flowers that once burst with vibrant shades now look faded. Clothes seem dull. Even telling the difference between a light object on a dark table becomes a challenge. This isn't just tired eyes. It's a marked difficulty in seeing colors and contrasts, one of the key warning signs of macular degeneration. At first, it feels like a small detail. You glance at a white wall but can't tell whether you're looking at a shadow or a smudge. Or you try sorting socks, navy, black, gray, but they all blend together into the same shade. This isn't just about seeing less. It's about losing the ability to distinguish light from dark, brightness from dullness. For many older adults, this creeping change goes unnoticed until it becomes dangerous. The science is clear. The macula, at the center of the retina, is filled with cone cells that detect color and contrast. When healthy, they act like an artist's paintbrushes, layering the world with depth and richness. But when macular degeneration sets in, those brushes wear out. The canvas of life loses vibrancy, flattened, faded, unclear. This symptom has serious consequences. Imagine an older adult walking through their home. If they can't see the difference between a step and the floor, the risk of falling skyrockets. In fact, a 2020 study by the National Eye Institute found that people with macular degeneration had twice the risk of home accidents linked to poor contrast sensitivity. This isn't a cosmetic problem, it's a safety hazard. Consider Mr. Ernest, 70, a retired house painter. He had always taken pride in spotting subtle shades. He could tell 10 variations of beige just by looking. But one day, all beiges looked the same.
Later, while climbing a ladder to change a light bulb, he missed the final step because he couldn't see where it ended and the floor began. He fell and injured his shoulder. At the hospital, doctors discovered the early signs of macular degeneration, particularly affecting his contrast vision. With guidance, he improved his lighting at home, adjusted his diet, and kept his independence. His experience drives home an important truth. Trouble with colors and contrasts is not a matter of aesthetic annoyance. It's your body waving a warning flag. Recognizing this symptom early allows for simple but life-saving adjustments, better lighting, medical support, daily routines that prevent accidents and protect independence. This isn't about miracles, it's about paying attention. When you notice colors fading or shadows blending, you're not just observing details. You're safeguarding autonomy, safety, and dignity. So, if the world seems to lose its brightness, if colors blur together, if telling light from dark feels harder, don't ignore it. It's one of the clearest signs your eyes are asking for care. And answering that call is saying yes to years of sharper, safer, more independent living.
Night vision that fades away. Picture stepping outside at dusk and suddenly feeling like the world around you disappears faster than it should. Streets seem darker, outlines blur, and car headlights turn into blinding halos. This struggle to see in low light isn't just an inconvenience, it's one of the subtle but serious early warnings of macular degeneration. At first, many brush it off as just age. My eyes don't adjust to the dark like they used to, they say. But the truth is, when the macula begins to lose efficiency, your eyes take much longer to adapt to changing light. The result? Anxiety about driving at night, fear of tripping on uneven sidewalks, and for many, the painful decision to stop going out after sunset. Here's the science. The retina contains two main types of cells, rods and cones. Cones, clustered in the macula, help us see details and colors in bright light. Rods, spread more widely, are responsible for night vision. When the macula is compromised, the connection between these systems weakens. It's like stepping into a dark room and waiting for the lights to come on, but they never quite do. A 2021 study in the American Journal of Ophthalmology found that patients with macular degeneration took up to 3 times longer to adapt to darkness compared to those without the disease. That delay explains why so many seniors report being nearly blinded when leaving a bright room and stepping into dim light. Take the story of Mrs. Yvonne, 74, a grandmother who loved attending evening church services. For years, she drove confidently at night. But then she noticed she had to pause in the driveway, waiting for her eyes to catch up before pulling onto the road. On the highway, headlights would overwhelm her vision, while road signs seemed invisible. Terrified, she considered giving up driving altogether. After seeing an eye doctor, she learned she was in the early stages of macular degeneration, which was slowing her night adaptation. With medical guidance, better home lighting, and lifestyle changes, she was able to continue living independently and safely. The danger of poor night vision goes far beyond inconvenience. It increases the risk of falls, car accidents, and social isolation. Many seniors begin avoiding nighttime events, dinners, or community activities out of fear. That isolation then brings another silent threat, loneliness, which can deeply affect mental health. It's vital to recognize that struggling with night vision isn't foggy eyes or laziness. It's a clear sign that the macula is under strain. Ignoring it accelerates risks. Acknowledging it, however, opens the door to adjustments, treatment, and preserved independence. Every time the dark takes too long to resolve into clarity, your eyes are sending you a message. This isn't about chasing perfection or miracles. It's about taking practical steps to keep living with freedom. Because protecting night vision isn't just about seeing in the dark. It's about holding on to the ability to come and go without fear, even after the sunset.
Among all the silent signs of macular degeneration, real-life stories are often the most powerful. They remind us that what seems like a small detail can end up reshaping an entire life. That's exactly what happened to Mrs. Elsa, a 69-year-old retiree, devoted grandmother, and lover of crossword puzzles. It all began subtly. One Sunday morning, she opened the newspaper and noticed that some lines of text looked warped, almost as if someone had folded the page. She laughed it off, thinking it was just time for new glasses. A few days later, though, she realized things had changed again. Besides the wavy lines, there was now a dark smudge right in the center of her vision. It was as if someone had dropped a blot of ink over the very words she was trying to read. At first, she tried to ignore it. Probably just tired eyes, she reassured herself. But everything shifted when she began to notice that her granddaughter's face looked blurred by a shadow in the middle. I looked into her eyes and saw only darkness covering the very light I loved most, she recalled with emotion. That was the moment she decided she needed help. The diagnosis wasn't easy to hear: early-stage macular degeneration. Her doctor explained simply, the macula, the part of your retina that gives sharpness to central vision, is developing tiny lesions. It's like a lens starting to crack. For a moment, Elsa felt the floor drop beneath her. Her biggest fear wasn't blindness itself, it was losing her independence. Will I need help just across the street? Will I one day no longer see the faces of my family? Then came the encouraging news. Because she sought help early, there were still effective ways to protect her eyesight. Her doctor prescribed regular monitoring, small dietary changes, and simple visual exercises. No miracle cures, just practical steps to preserve what remained healthy. Elsa's story underscores a critical truth. Countless people ignore the early signs of macular degeneration, chalking them up to old glasses or fatigue. That delay often means a diagnosis comes too late, when options for protection are far fewer. By recognizing distortions and dark spots early, Elsa gave herself a chance to protect her autonomy. Science backs this up. Research from the Age-Related Eye Disease Study, AREDS, led by the National Eye Institute, shows that catching macular degeneration in its early stages greatly increases the chances of slowing its progression. What might seem like a small symptom can in fact be the turning point that saves years of clearer vision. Elsa's journey also carries a message of hope. Today, she still enjoys her crosswords, but with extra care: brighter lighting, regular breaks, and consistent eye checkups. It's not the life she had before, but it's a life adapted, still filled with joy, independence, and family connection. Her story reminds us of something powerful. It's never too late to act. Every early sign, whether it's a wavy line, a dark spot, fading colors, or poor night vision, is a chance to step in, to care for your eyes, and to preserve your freedom. This isn't about promising miracles or a cure. It's about real, science-backed steps that allow seniors to keep living fully. Just like Mrs. Elsa, anyone can find new ways to live with clarity, without surrendering independence to fear.
Recognizing the signs of macular degeneration is the first step, but knowing how to act every single day is what truly protects vision over time. There's no magic solution, only a series of small, consistent habits that work together like a shield against the disease's progression. That's why I want to share a simple daily ritual, one that any senior can adopt without expensive medications or invasive procedures. Step 1. Morning hydration. Many times, blurry vision or burning eyes aren't just about the macula, they're also tied to dryness. Drinking a warm glass of water as soon as you wake up helps kickstart circulation and keeps your eyes lubricated. Think of it as watering the garden before the day's sun has a chance to dry the soil. Step 2. Targeted nutrition. Research from the National Eye Institute shows that a combination of antioxidants like vitamin C, vitamin E, zinc, and lutein can slow the progression of macular degeneration. In practical terms, adding oranges, berries, eggs, spinach, or a slice of avocado to breakfast fuels the retina with the nutrients it needs to resist damage. It's like giving your eyes the right kind of fuel to keep them strong. Step 3. The Amsler Grid test. Set aside 2 quiet minutes each day to look at a piece of graph paper. Focus on the center. If the lines appear bent, missing, or distorted, that's a red flag. This test, called the Amsler Grid, is so simple, yet it works like an eye thermometer, letting you track changes early before they become bigger problems. Seniors who practice this daily often feel more confident because they're actively monitoring their vision. Step 4. Light management. The macula is especially sensitive to blue light from phones, TVs, and computer screens. That's why it's vital to build in visual breaks. Every 20 minutes, close your eyes for 20 seconds or look out at the horizon. This gives your eye muscles a chance to breathe. At home, keep rooms well lit to reduce shadows and prevent falls, a small adjustment that pays off in both vision and safety. Step 5. Daily movement. Healthy eyes depend on healthy circulation. Light exercise, walking, stretching, or even dancing improves blood flow, delivering oxygen and nutrients to the retina. Imagine your blood vessels as rivers. When water flows, it stays fresh. When it stagnates, blockages form. That same principle applies to eye health. Step 6. Restful sleep. Good sleep is not a luxury, it's a biological necessity for your eyes. At night, retinal cells undergo repair. To support this natural process, create a dark, quiet, screen-free environment. It's during these hours that your body restores the foundation of healthy vision. This daily ritual doesn't demand expensive tools or radical changes. It's built on everyday choices: water, nutrient-rich food, a quick grid test, breaks from light, gentle movement, and quality rest. Each action is simple, but together they form a powerful barrier against vision loss. Remember, this isn't about miracles. It's about consistency. Every time you repeat these steps, you're sending your body a clear message. My vision matters. My independence is worth protecting. This ritual is more than habit. It's a commitment to yourself. A quiet promise that you'll do what it takes to keep seeing the world clearly, one day at a time.
There's one detail many people overlook when it comes to eye health. Vision isn't shaped only by what we eat or how often we visit the doctor. It's also deeply affected by how relaxed or tense our eye muscles are. Just like your legs get sore after a long walk, your eyes also strain after hours of use. And this constant tension can make blurry vision worse, slow your light adaptation, and even intensify those dark spots. That's why I want to share a simple but powerful practice: palming. This relaxation technique has been studied in visual rehabilitation programs and involves gently warming your hands and placing them over your closed eyes, creating a space of warmth and darkness. It sounds basic, but the effect is profound. The heat relaxes muscles, while the absence of light gives the retina instant relief. In just 2 minutes, many seniors report their eyes feeling soothed, refreshed, and clearer. Here's how to do it. Rub your palms together until they feel warm. Close your eyes, then cup your palms over them without pressing so that no light seeps through. Breathe deeply, relax your shoulders, and hold for 1 to 2 minutes. Imagine you're erasing the chalkboard of all the day's strain. This can be done in the morning, before bed, or any time your eyes feel tired. A study published in the Journal of Behavioral Optometry found that relaxation techniques like palming reduced visual fatigue and increased comfort in older adults with macular conditions. While it's not a treatment, it's a practical, no-cost way to support eye comfort and ease the daily burden on your vision. The beauty of this tip is its simplicity. You don't need equipment, supplements, or appointments, just your own hands. It's free, safe, and repeatable as often as you like. A small gesture, but one that can bring meaningful comfort. Remember, this isn't about miracles. It's about stacking up little acts of care. Every mindful pause is a gift to your eyes and a step toward preserving your independence.
It's not too late. Even if you've already noticed wavy lines, dark spots, fading colors, or struggling to see at night, there are still ways to protect your vision. You are not alone on this journey. Thousands of older adults share the same fears of losing independence, of relying on caregivers, of no longer seeing the faces they love. But every small step you take can make a real difference. Your body still responds to care. Macular degeneration doesn't have to be a life sentence of darkness.
Each time you drink water in the morning, choose nutrient-rich foods, check your sight with the Amsler Grid, take screen breaks, or practice palming in the dark, you're sending a powerful message to your body. My vision matters. My freedom is worth the effort. This isn't about miracle cures, it's about steady habits. Think of a delicate plant. One drop of water changes nothing, but regular watering keeps it alive and vibrant. The same is true of your macula. It thrives on consistent care. And remember, you are not alone. Science has shown that even after 60 or 70, it's possible to strengthen vision. Stories like Mrs. Elsa's, Mr. Alfred's, and Mrs. Yvonne's prove that recognizing science early and taking action brings real hope. Your eyes are your window to the world. Protecting them means protecting your independence, your connection with loved ones, and your ability to keep living life on your terms. It's not too late. It's not impossible. Your body can still respond, and every daily gesture you make is a silent victory against the shadow of vision loss.
If this video brought you clarity about the warning signs of macular degeneration, now is the time to act. Knowledge only makes a difference when it turns into action. That's why I want to invite you to take 3 simple steps. Like this video, share it with someone who needs this information, and subscribe to the channel to keep receiving natural science-backed tips for protecting your vision. When you click like, you're not just supporting this content, you're signaling to the algorithm that this topic matters and should reach more people. When you share, you could be helping a friend, neighbor, or family member who may be ignoring the very same signs you learned about here. That simple act could mean the difference between catching the disease early or facing regret later. And by subscribing, you'll stay connected with weekly updates, practical strategies, inspiring real-life stories, and proven ways to support your eyesight. This isn't just about one video, it's about building a movement. The more seniors who learn to recognize distorted lines, central dark spots, fading colors, and night vision loss, the more lives we can protect from the fear of blindness. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these signs caught your attention the most? And what habit or food are you planning to try first to support your eyes? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Your story could inspire someone else to take action. Your eyesight is precious. Protect it. Like, share, subscribe, and join this community that refuses to lose clarity without a fight.